Welcome back to Gamers Without Borders. 2 series down in our competition. It's the usual suspects. The predictions, I think they're just firing on all cylinders at this point. We have some familiar faces in the virtual studio who are going to be joining me for this Team Vitality G1 series. Welcome back, Dazarin and Corelli. Corelli, Oxygen looking strong, Jorius especially.
Yeah, Oxygen, listen, this is a team that we expect to do pretty well in this tournament. They have a great player like Jorius who excelled in ones and also in the other game modes as well. So I think for Oxygen, they're not, they don't have the same hype level as maybe Team Vitality, but they certainly are a team to contend with here to win this whole thing.
I mean, speaking of the upper brackets that we're pushing into now later on in the stream, Dazarin, which upper bracket is looking more stacked right now? Because we've got Vitality G1, and we also have Oxygen going up against German Amigos.
This is tough because the German Amigos just pulled that upset against BDS. Well, I guess, I don't know if you want to call it upset. It depends on how you were rating BDS going into this. I think a lot of people expected that series to be kind of closer. I know personally I was kind of disappointed in what I saw out of Team BDS. They have the lower run, but regardless of that, German Amigos are here. They are looking good today. Oxygen looked very solid. Vitality, I would say Oxygen, German Amigos will probably be the more closer one if I had to pick. I think Vitality should take G1 because G1 just went 5 games against Monkeys and they actually almost lost that. So they're looking shaky today. And I think Team Vitality will have the victory. But normally it would be Vitality G1. I'm just judging on how the day's going so far.
We've seen Vitality on the A stream so far. We're yet to see G1. So we had the opportunity to speak to one of the old Luminosity roster from last year going into this next match. From G1, it is Atomic. Let's see what he had to say about Gamers Without Borders.
Last year we participated in Gamers 8 with Luminosity Gaming. At that time I was playing with Ixo and Tox as my teammates. We had a lot of connection between all 3 of us because we played a lot of games together. They are friends of mine, so we're good.
To take one away, Tox a little left, just gets to the 50. Atomic again on small pad work, got the 50 in front. Excellent work by Atomic. Didn't get the wave landing, but it ended up working out in his favor on the 50.
Oh, he couldn't catch up with that either. Tox will roll another one in, and Luminosity again.
The hotel was incredible, the experience of the hotel. Also, the experience of going to the place where we go to compete, seeing all that kind of new culture, all those people who want to get a sign, to get photos. That's an incredible feeling. And also, I love to travel to all the places around the world. So visiting a new site, a new place, so far away from Spain, it's huge for me, and I love that experience in the past. As of right now, my team is G1. I'm playing with Dorito and Oali. I would say a little bit of name behind. I would also say that Oali is coming through a redemption arc because he left Oxygen and he couldn't play for one split, so he has the motivation to destroy all the teams now. He wants to show that he has level to play. We are gonna go for it. We'll try to win every single game we play because we love the competition. Everybody can say, like, if they win scrims, we are gonna win the regional easy, but to be fair, we never know because EU, I would say, is the best region by far, and right now there's more than 5 teams that can win a regional easy. But I'm pretty confident. I'm very confident in my team. I think we're gonna do good. I know we can do it because we have the level and we have the potential. We just have to play, destroy everyone, easy.
EU's the best region by far. Dazarin tends to agree. Up next, we've got Vitality going up against G1. Damn, I almost did that one right. And we've got the next upper bracket card that's going to be coming up very, very shortly. Now, is this where our teams get tested, Corelli, or is this Vitality just lining up their next meal?
For Vitality, I think for most of these matchups, it's going to be them lining up their next meal. For G1, I feel like they have been contested here. That reverse sweep over Monkeys was not an easy series to get out of, and they're going to have to get to that level again right off the rip here against Vitality, who have just been so strong so far here in this tournament.
Dazarin, I know we jest a lot, but I want a serious prediction from you going into this. Does G1 stand a chance?
Yes, they do, actually. This could be a lot closer. Again, I think for Vitality, the start against Fufadab was not the best showing I think I wanted to see from them. And even though G1 are coming off of that Game 5, which I am kind of criticizing them for, I do think that they could potentially catch Vitality slipping here, but I would still back Vitality in this matchup.
Ooh, well, the scene is set and our teams are ready and prepped. Whoever wins this next series qualifies for Gamers 8. Simple as that. 2 wins under your belt and you're in. 2 new casters jump into the mix. Lemon Kiwi and Spaceman take us into our upper bracket semi-final, please.
Thank you so much, Banks. Wonderful as always, Desk. Fantastic. We look at G1 and Vitality. This match comes down to qualifications. We've reached that part of the bracket. Welcome in, Vitality, looking like one of the best teams here currently in the world. For G1, make a roster change, but you hear it during the interview. Not only do you have an experienced player in Atomic, but you also have opportunities here to potentially work within the cracks that Vitality have. It's going to be a tough one, though. This is a step up for G1, and for Vitality, no small feat there. Lemon Kiwi, this could be a trap game for them, but I think a lot of people are expecting Vitality to handle it.
Yeah, but G1 are just coming off of a home run reverse sweep. That feels good to come back from the depths. But also, both these teams have faced recently, whether you want to take a show match seriously or not. It was a reverse sweep, or no, actually just a Game 5 victory for G1 against Vitality in the Johnny Boy show match recently. So Vitality are beatable.
Yeah, they are. And look, this is not some titans of industry here in the world. Vitality still have a lot to prove, as does every team coming into this, because we're kind of middle of the season here. A lot of teams have made changes. Vitality didn't necessarily make one because Zen was already subbed, but once he comes of age, all of a sudden he's now qualified for RLCS, and with that, they move him in after the Winter Major. Granted, he's been waiting and playing ones and dominating, so there's still opportunities here for things to grow, but for Vitality, you have to be looking at the 1s and 2s game as a favorable matchup for them. In 3s, I think that's really where you have your best shot if you're G1 to steal a game away in this series, because it's a best of 5. It's not best of 7 where you have a chance to maybe go the distance. If you come off slow, you're going to struggle, and Vitality are not going to give up much for free.
I know there's a lot of hype behind Zen, of course, the newest player on this roster, but one that I think can carry them to that victory. But G1, that reverse sweep doesn't take one person. It takes a whole team to put their heads together. Look at this control from Oli, but pinching it right down, Radisson saves, and Vitality get out.
And of course, when it came to the change for Vitality before this event kicked off, you did have Sizen in the squad. He eventually, of course, gets dropped. Zen moves up, and it was the question mark of, all right, when we go to the major for Vitality, regardless if they win the whole thing or not, who's going to get replaced? And Zen has basically filled in perfectly. This team's looking great in scrims. We've been watching them play in their 3s and 6s, and yeah, they've basically answered every question of whether or not the 3s would translate and how quickly Zen would make that adjustment. The acclimation period was not too long for Vitality, but for G1, also very interesting for them, right? They do make a change. Oli now brought in formerly on Oxygen. He was waiting for about an entire split. Didn't play a lot of Rocket League in the past 2-3 months, but he was still practicing, still waiting for an opportunity to get on a top team. And I think he has a good squad around him. This is an interesting step up for G1. They're going to have to handle the pressure, but as that one goes dangerously towards the back wall, you are wondering what the clears will look like as Zen takes it away.
And you're wondering what G1 looks like in the European scene, which is Vitality is touted as this top 1, if not top 3, however you want to argue this. You heard it in the interview that EU is just so tightly knit in terms of the competition. That pass won't connect there. And G1 didn't make it out of groups for the Winter Majors. So you think, is this a chance for them to prove themselves? If they can make it to the Gamers 8, Vitality will gatekeep them, at least for the moment. It is the upper bracket. You have a longer road to the lowers if you make it there. But Game 1, it's kind of a stalemate already. 0-0, G1 applying the pressure, but not getting their first goal yet.
I mean, this is the fun part, right? Like, the stalemate's on the defensive end there for Vitality, but once the counterattack begins, it's so quick upfield. It was good pressure from G1. Pretty sustained offense on the other side, but immediately a possession right back, and you're playing a one-on-one in transition against Alpha or Zen, you're going to lose it every single time. It's just a matter of moments. And there, Vitality will start things off and open up the proceedings. A 1-0 lead with 2:48. This is what we expect, but now the question comes down to whether or not G1 can respond.
That triple commit, not ideal either, but all good. 2:43 left. Alpha can get on this first. 2 defenders come out of the net for G1 as Radisson takes back control, but Dorito protects that back wall. Team Vitality will take some heads along with them while they fall back for the defense. While G1 are weakened, they give that possession back over to Vitality. Zen working through the left side, trying to connect with a pass on the box, not even needing to, forcing the own goal there. Team Vitality up 2-0.
I mean, Ole can't do much here. Once he circles back, if you try to pop over Zen, you're punching it through to your own net. You try to get physical, Zen carefully and poised as ever in the box, punches that through. And this is an instance where when the play breaks down, you're looking at Vitality to capitalize. G1 struggling. I'm sure the comms were a bit hectic. There really wasn't much they could do there. The defense was spread thin, but they try to bunch the left post. It doesn't work. Vitality off the kickoff again will have possession, and they have a third goal to boot. Alpha 54 gives them a 3-0 lead.
That's the captain. That's one of the reasons of many that you build a team around him. The bounce that Dorito could not read. And even had a Vitality member getting creative with it right on the goal line, looking for the bump. But 3-0 for Vitality with 2 minutes left is a statement to make. You wondered how much energy G1 was going to bring after that reverse sweep. Well, not a ton in game one, although their offenses have, of course, been present. Dorito just catching this on the floor. Radisson in the way, and Dorito will make sure it won't happen again. Pass almost connects there. Dorito not getting the angle he wanted.
I mean, that's one you want back, but also because you kind of leave your teammate on an island, and now you're worried about the counterattack and how quickly you lose numbers in front. As Alpha took the handoff, I like the play from Radisson just to give Alpha a chance to put a shot on target. And Zen, again, a ones master in his world right now. Everybody high fives on the back wall. Dorito trying to clear. The clears have been there. The defensive stops have been there for G1, but they haven't had any offense to respond with to give Vitality some pause at midfield, to make them respect the pushes back up. As Ole leaves it, nice fake. Ole, the give and go. Easy reads for Vitality. This is about as clean as a game one you would want. And if you're going into game two for G1, assuming they're not able to find anything really here, I don't think you should be picking ones. Got to send it to twos. You have a better chance. But on a poke free in a 3-1 game, all of a sudden, maybe it's winnable.
Hey, Zen clears easy. Helps the other team, too. He just gets a slight touch.
He scores everywhere.
Right. Even against himself. But 3-1 for Vitality. And G1 brought obviously a lot more physicality to their offense, taking a demo in the last 2 turns. I think they've tried Atomic to the corner. Vitality, watch carefully. Radisson with the challenge. Ole, does he win this in the midfield? No, concedes this to Alpha. Vitality going for the 4th one. And G1 really need to get something going if they hope to tie it. And that's Atomic redirecting into the net and only down by 1. G1 still in this.
Zen overextended. And again, it's a bad touch on the ceiling, but Zen's caught out of position, and Atomic recognizes the missed touch, immediately flies up for the pre-jump. That's good recognition at midfield. The pressure finally starting to show. G1 have had a lot of opportunities to punish on those counterattacks. They just have not been able to find the opening. But a couple of mistakes from Vitality, right? This is where you probably have your best chance in this series, in these threes, to really steal a game away and make it interesting, as we've seen it so far with under 40 seconds to play. A 3-2 game. Granted, Zen did score on himself, but it's still doable here. Ole from the side wall, looking for the pinch, unsuccessful. The win by Alpha, and the takeaway by Vitality. That should do it, and he closes it 4-2.
That was a good response to have for Vitality, because you started the first half up 2-0, 3-0 now into the second half, and G1 started that comeback, 2 back-to-back goals. However it happens, it happens. And I think that one, like you said, seals the deal. 22 seconds, though. This next play from G1 has to happen. Ole wins the kickoff. Radisson was ready, though. G1 not able to force their way through, not following up. Losing that immediate pressure off the kickoff is going to cost them precious time for this game one.
Yeah, and that's the takeaway, Lemon. It's the precious time that they just don't have after a while. Hold on, one for the road. Doggy bag goal. Ole does find it. Oh, we're seeing a miracle kickoff. Hold on. Ole with a great 50. And Dorito on the slow catch. Recenters, nicely done. Had to work for that one, but anything's doable. I'm just going to put some hopium out there. Maybe we get a kickoff goal.
Good adjustment from Ole in that case. Kickoffs, a little delay by Vitality. Able to hold on. 4-3 for the French team in the game one. As expected, maybe in terms of predictions, although we kept G1's dog in the race, especially after the show match result, especially after that reverse sweep against the Monkeys. G1, I think, have room to grow, and Vitality better watch their back.
The French won again. What else is new in Rocket League? But listen, that was a good game one from G1. Honestly, like, for how this went, and granted, you kind of take away a goal from their stat because of what Zen was doing on the opposite backboard, but G1 had to step up and meet the moment against a very, very, very strong Vitality team, regardless of what game mode they're playing. They do so, just came up short in the end and gave away a couple of opportunities, but it was really these backboard clears, other than what Zen just did there, from Vitality. The quick counterattacks upfield, finding one another in the infield passes. They're one of the best teams in the world at it. They take away opportunities. They make G1 have to work overtime for a lot of these shots. And this was a tough look, but they do finally, eventually get that goal. With that, though, G1 will now have their pick. Do you want twos? Do you want ones? In this instance, I'm shocked if we see ones. You go to twos, Vitality look a little bit more vulnerable there. There's no way you're putting Zen in that pocket. You have to make him feel at least a little uncomfortable and stretch this series out.
I'm thinking the 2v2, unless you're feeling
ones.
real... Wow.
Hold on. Unless somebody joins last minute, we're going ones. Okay. It's ones. I don't want to... Chad, I'm telling you, I don't know what's going on, man. But we're going ones. I think that is an insane take out of G1. But if it works off, Dorito's an absolute god.
And in that game 4, I mean, Dorito won 6-4 to help that reverse sweep for G1. So they believe in him to make that magic happen again. But Zen is just that good. Although this is... Okay, Dorito couldn't follow up with that. But Zen, I mean, made the solo plays happen even at G1. He doesn't need a pass. He can find the gap on his own. But Dorito obviously is coming in with a lot of confidence. Can he handle this right now? And he does.
And Dorito is a smart player, cerebral up the field, one of the best you're going to find in Europe. Like, this is not by any stretch like a done deal for Zen, not at all. But I'm just surprised at how quickly they made that call, because you're thinking, all right, well, it's close in threes, in twos, Vitality maybe a little bit more malleable, right? You're playing Alpha, playing Zen, sure, but you're going up against the best ones player in the world currently. Ooh. Zen blocks that one away, and I'm just very surprised that this is the situation we find ourselves in. Full tank of boost, and Zen will try to punish. Holds the reset, fakes it. Dorito, that's unfortunate, but still finds the save. Zen does get the bump. Dorito has to restabilize on the goal line, and Zen will fall off. Nicely played by G1.
Just close calls from either side. Just these goal line saves from Zen before to Dorito doing just that, even through the patience of Zen waiting for shot after shot. This is above Dorito's head off the backboard. Zen recovers, but didn't get really behind the ball, so it gives Dorito a chance to stabilize, both jumping off. Dorito was reading this well. Zen hasn't cracked the egg yet, and despite a few offensive attempts, it takes Zen having to demo him to maybe scoop this in. Yeah, Dorito can't get back in time.
And this, of course, is the kid that went on, what, like 17 straight wins in ones before Roas eventually put a stop to it. But through the corners, when you get a demo, it's free. It's just free real estate. You're not going to be able to spawn up in time. It's a 1-0 lead, but I think the positive takeaway to start for Dorito and G1 as well is time has gone by. You've kept Zen at bay. You've played great goal line defense. You've managed your boost quite well. You're not going to catch him here, but it's tip of the cap and hopium there for Dorito, as he has everything he needs to make this series and this game interesting. Zen cannot close the deal, but Dorito will get possession back.
There's been multiple attempts that Dorito has stopped. It's taken Zen to go for a demo and guarantee himself the goal for that to happen. So Zen has met his match so far, still can't carry it through as Dorito holds on. Now trying to get this above Zen. Doesn't get the tip he was hoping for, but the pinch off the wall goes all the way down. Are you serious?
Okay. All right. I mean, we saw Jaro hit it, what, 6 months ago, and Zen's going to do the same? That's disgusting. Yeah, this is why this kid is so good. All right, that's a 2-0 lead. There's nothing else to break down about that. That's a psycho shot.
I didn't know that was intended, but hey, Dorito, hey, gets the kickoff. Oh, no, Zen gets there in time. 0 boost as Dorito, at least, doesn't want to go for possession here, kind of concedes that to Zen. Dorito goes back for more boost. This almost lands in front of the net. Zen catches it. Dorito has to fall back. Doesn't get the centered out ball he was hoping for, but Zen will come back for more.
I didn't think we'd see a psycho this early, but you never know with Zen. You never know what you're going to get off the ceiling. Dangerous ricochet. It's going to be off the barb. No, it won't. It's going to bounce quite precariously. Slow roller. 3-0.
It does feel... Okay, Yes, it's Zen up 3-0 and it feels one-sided, but it's taken a lot more attempts. I guess I'm thinking back at like the 8-6 1v1s we casted yesterday, where it was like as soon as you had the ball, you were scoring. It's taken a few attempts. It's not 100% execution for Zen. Look at this carry on to the upper 90. Oh, he's warmed up all right.
Yeah, I think he's doing just fine. Working on the opposite side of the field, Dorito plays boost, and you can't blame him low in the tank, but Zen is already on your goal. This dude's insane. He's been like this for a while, and what started as a very promising opening minute 30 there for Dorito, keeping Zen at bay, has quickly crumbled into a 4-0 lead and a lack of possession. Can't even clear out of the orange side of the field, gives it right back to Zen. Dorito will eventually get back to that midfield. He'll keep it slow. Ground game is all his, and he goes for the flick, but diving save and punches it out. But right back we go.
Zen off guard. Left post. Zen trying to get this out. Dorito being careful with his challenges. Waits down low, and here you go. Says Zen. Now try and score. Wants to dunk on him, but not going to happen. Dorito has the midfield. Zen challenges at the right moment to send it all the way back. Let's Dorito have a chance to breathe.
Time continues to dwindle away. Dorito just needs something. Get the momentum going. You play great defense, but after a while, you do need to score. That's how these games go. Defense only keeps you in for so long. It does help you win, but maybe that takeaway will start things. Finally, Dorito finds one.
Yeah, because like you said, these challenges have only to slow down Zen, not to take the ball and do anything. Up until this moment, Zen finds himself on the sidewall, and then Dorito finally has an open field to go crazy. But you're down 3 goals with 1 minute. And Vitality, just like in the threes, they start out strong. G1 can creep up on you, though. We'll see if Dorito has it in him. Like you said, it's a momentum thing. As Dorito tries to cut, back flips back, and Zen barely saves, gets that out.
Zen has so much boost. Dorito just has to flip it high. You'll play back neutrally. Dorito recovers nicely, forces the chow into the corner. With 40 seconds to go, is that pop free? No, it's going to be off target, but there's really not a lot of time here, and we know Zen likes to kill the play and bring it back to his own corner. So if he gets possession at the midfield, this one's done, but you need a swing upfield, and you need it now. The counterattack begins for Dorito. Here he goes with the flip. Zen gets a hand up and clears it off the backboard. That might do it, as Team Vitality will go up 2-0 in this series and need just one more game to qualify for Gamers 8.
Solid defense from Dorito. It's only 4 goals compared to what I feel like Zen is capable of. Nice control. Dorito still stopped. Zen, offense, defense, no problem, especially for the 1v1s. 5-1 now. Should be the final score unless something happens on the kickoff, but that'll get Vitality to the match point. And G1, we're desperate to try and even things up here. Surprised they chose the 1v1, as you can give yourself maybe some more forgiveness in a 2v2, but obviously Dorito was feeling himself and only got 1 goal out of that.
I mean, look, it's a risky idea to play game 2 at once. I like the confidence, but you got to give credit here to Dorito. He held his own for before that minute stretch where Zen put 3 goals on the board. He was holding his own against Zen. But after a while, the best player on the field is going to be the best player, and Zen proved it. Vitality now up 2-0. Here are your highlights. It was a psycho shot from the backboard. Yeah, it bounced. Ooh, it doesn't count. Whatever, chat. It still works. It was ridiculous from the ceiling. Zen was the better player in this. We all knew it was going to happen. And he puts this one away very quickly. It was a minute stretch where 3 goals come through, and Zen just put on a clinic.
Look at this. Flips in the air. Vitality as Zen styling on them in that first half. Dorito able to score with that 1 minute left, and you thought maybe that was a chance for momentum. You caught Zen lacking just the one time. But even Zen knew, kind of like you said, was killing the clock, challenging, just conceding the ball, and Dorito just couldn't break through, but had many cool looking attempts. Just Zen is that good on the defense.
I mean, what do you do if you're Dorito there? You kept him close up until the opening goal, and then you're losing boost at midfield. There's really no presence. It's not his fault. Zen is controlling the air, and all of a sudden, you can't even get out of spawn. You can't even get out of your own side of the field. You're stuck, and you're having to deal with Zen's aerials with very little in the tank, but Zen has everything to work with, and all of a sudden, we find ourselves in a situation where G1, very good team, giving up a fight to Vitality in game 1, a little bit in game 2, but now you're back to 3s. Maybe the best chance G1 has to take a game in this series. You got to win here to qualify. You lose, you go down to the lower bracket, but Vitality looking to end this one in 3 fashion.
In case you have a memory of a rock, Vitality had a good start to the first half of game 1, 2-0, but G1 fought their way back, a little cat and mouse action, had 2 goals to tie it up, and then Vitality went away 4-3. And Zen, even solo plays there, made it happen. Vitality as a team looked good together. And Alpha showed himself as the captain too. G1, I think, will look better in 3s. And hopefully Dorito is too bummed about that 1s, and now he can kind of get scooped up morally by his team.
Yeah, look, this is still entirely doable, at least to extend it to Coliseum. If you're looking at potentials in this series for G1, extending it to a game 4 is necessary because then you got 2s. Maybe that's the benefit that we have here. You're gonna have Alpha and Zen in 2s. Yeah, it's not great, but probably a better situation than an ISO Chal against Zen. Regardless, you're gonna have to find some goals. I know it sounds very 5-headed, but the scoring just hasn't been there for G1. Vitality been too dominant. Too much potential with the strikers they have. Zen flips it toward the backboard as Atomic will clear. Radosin sends it on its way back into play. Here comes Alpha. Quick shot, left post. Denied. Defense stands up.
And a clear. Holy getting above 1 defender. Zen was ready for this approach, and G1 can't keep the pressure on. Almost Radosin able to redirect that, and this has been scary for Vitality. Their defense, or their offense, I should say, looking lethal. Here's a counterattack from G1. Zen at least redirects this away from G1's hands, but they wait in the midfield and they keep sending it in. But G1 aren't that threatening quite yet.
And it's reminiscent of game 1 to start. A lot of boom ball, a lot of possessions upfield for Vitality, but the defense did clear. Luckily, the overextension from Dorito didn't get the touch, but it was still good enough, made it threatening. Vitality had to come out for the save, and Alpha doing Alpha things from the midfield. Zen on the slow approach, and it just rolls through. I think it might have been a mistouch from Atomic. He gives it right back to Zen, and then that was a bad clear, but couldn't really go any other way. Just the luck of the draw circumstance there as Vitality find the goal.
I'm gonna say this kid's name all the time, but Zen is in the right place at the right time on the defense, on the offense. Have that warm up in 1s. Now helping Team Vitality finish this off in a sweep, at least in the first half. Team Vitality have that lead, just like they did in game 1. But G1, they start to level up in the second half, but it's these clears that need to turn into something else than just making space. It's about G1 owning that space. So Atomic dumps it in, but it doesn't help that Team Vitality are always there first when G1 clear. And I want to see G1 fight for it more. If they're going to be a physical team, they better show it. It looks like G1 able to get some demos. Now it's about fighting for the ball.
I mean, look, you're going to have to start forcing the challenges on the offensive third here. You can't allow the constant pressure from Vitality to be at midfield. That's a miss there you want back. Just hits the bar twice. The clang hurts. It rattles around, and G1 unsuccessful. Unfortunate for the moment. Minute 45 to play. Oli's going to get the call. Trying to pinch it down, does so very harshly, but the recovery towards that midfield will be there for G1. Possession back to Vitality. They do find the clear. The give and go. Zen, great shot. Oli saves.
Remember, this is for a spot at Gamers 8, and up in the winners final awaits the winner of Oxygen versus German Amigos. So Team Vitality setting themselves up, but obviously you can't be too comfortable with just a 1-0 lead, but if you're Vitality, you heard it in the interviews. They're a team with good vibes. They trust each other, and how can you not when Alpha pulls that off?
And you always have to worry about Alpha, right? He was the original main man on this team, they say the point man for this squad. When you had the old roster around him, and now they just build an even better one to boot. Everybody forgets that Alpha's still here, and he's still putting up top 10 plays at major events. Zen avoids the demo. The dangerous 1-2 punch of Alpha and Zen, one of the best in the world. And Radosin, sometimes he's smiling. He's like, I'm letting my teammates do all the work, but he has had a very good series of feeding his teammates, facilitating a lot of the offense upfield, and letting Alpha and Zen just work in their space, controlling the pocket through the corner. Alpha being a nuisance, burning time. All members are committing from G1 just to get the ball away.
Just chasing. And Team Vitality almost have them trapped. Yeah, Alpha brings it back, and precious seconds gone again. G1 just needing to strike at least once to make this a possible comeback. Clears have been nice, but offense is just the ball immediately conceded when they do clear. G1, again, they just toss it right into the lap of Team Vitality, who have boost, and they're coming back for more. 2-0 for Vitality after that last goal from Alpha. There's Dorito fighting for it. Lose it to Zen, but G1, Oli, last couple of seconds just to get something. It's G1, not G0, but the last couple of seconds, that's gonna be all she wrote.
Yeah.
G1 going out with a whimper.
I mean, look, signs of promise here for G1. There are positives, and they do have a lifeline. You go to the lower bracket, you were not out by any stretch, but it was the constant challenges, the 50 game and the wins on possession on the defensive side of the ball for Vitality. They didn't waste a lot of time getting the ball back. When we go to the other side of the field, you got Alpha 1v3ing, just burning time. How often G1 were circling numbers out of position just to hunt down a player? This was all of Vitality. The offense is going to be there regardless, but their defense was pretty impressive in this series. They didn't waste a lot of time transitioning from defense to counterattacks. That's a chance you want back. You ricochet down, you lose the bar touch, and then you lose the rebound to boot, where Dosen just clears. I mean, it's tough. You give it on a give and go immediately. That's a headache right there. You go from scoring potentially to giving up another and going down 2-0 against Vitality when there really wasn't much to show for it. But I do want to give props to G1. You're going up against one of the tougher teams in the world in this region for sure. A lot of positives, but there just wasn't offense to really counter the defense and to make Vitality treat you with respect at midfield, and that's what you want to see. But Vitality just too good, man. I mean, this is what they do. Lemon Kiwi, they're that good.
Vitality, they got the style, they got the mechanics, but G1 have the spirit, the way they fought back in the reverse sweep in the quarterfinal, to be confident enough to challenge Zen to a 1v1. I don't think a lot of teams would do that. And putting on a good show, G1 will drop to the lower bracket with Team Vitality qualifying to Gamers 8. I mean, no one had any doubt that they could do so, but it was going to be which team in this bracket could put up a challenge. Looks like it wasn't going to, I mean, BDS is in the lower bracket. Who knows? I mean, Europe in shambles of who is their best team. Team Vitality trying to prove that it's them.
They're trying to prove it, but who knows is the great question. Only one man knows. He's got the script. Banks! What does it say next? What's on the next page?
What's next is on the page that Spaceman is holding out hopium. But no, Vitality are just that good. Thank you so much, Spaceman and Lemon Kiwi. An electric match, I would say, between Vitality and G1. G1 with that spirit, like Lemon Kiwi said. But Dazarin, Vitality snagged that first spot at Gamers 8.
You know what, Banks? It's your turn now. That match was not electric at all, okay? That one was a clear cut. It was a 3-0 sweep. Vitality, the most electricity we saw was the game one. As we look at our highlights presented by the Ramco, see, look, now I'm about to get you. I'm about to cook you. Look, Vitality, they came out, and yeah, people were looking at this matchup and seeing, okay, what's going on? G1 could have potentially came back, but then G1, you could tell they were playing for game 5 because that's why they put this 1v1 up. If they were believing in a 4-game comeback, they would have just, and then when this happened, it was all over. You knew it was all over. You see Zit hit the Psycho, I'm sorry, Dorito, you're done. You're done with, we might as well end the game at that point. And it was only a 2-goal game, but everybody knew what was going to happen. Zen was going to activate, double flip, reset it to the top right. It's Zen. It's automatic at that point. And then we went to the 3v3. Vitality tried to put up a fight in that, or not Vitality, I'm sorry, G1 tried to put up a fight, but again, at that point, Vitality was already rolling. They already had all the confidence, and they made this one a short one for us.
I was going to mention that. The ones pick by G1 in round 2, a power move attempt to show that they're not scared of a 15-year-old with a controller, Corelli?
No, they're just trying to get out of the way, hope they win the next match, and then not have to put what is an automatic loss at this point as their game 5. That was the idea there. And it's interesting because I said the same thing. I was like, oh, that's interesting that they picked that. But of course, that would mean that would leave them in a 2v2 and then, of course, a 3v3 to round out the series. So they would rather that than have to put all their marbles into a 1v1 match, which, again, feels like an automatic loss with Zen hitting Psychos.
I mean, if 3-0, okay, Dazarin, I'll give it to you. Not electric, but I felt like G1 were putting up a fight. More of a fight than Vitality faced in their first match, let's just say that. Okay, let's think into the future very slightly. G1, how do they bring that morale back? Because their next matchup, they'll be going up against someone who's just come off a win.
Right, they'll be going up against the winner of Sub BDS, and that'll be a very interesting matchup. I think it's just kind of G1 understanding their own ability, finding that confidence. We know they're a team that can rally back. Like Let Me Kiwi said, they did it in that 5-game series against Monkeys. It was a reverse sweep. So even when they're pushed on the brink of elimination, I would not count G1 out just yet. They're so close. They just have to get it together for one more series.
Okay, we're going to have a quick look at our MVP of that match. And Corelli, if you can't guess who it is, you don't deserve to be here. Just get out of my space station. I keep calling it a space station. My spacecraft, let's just say that. It's Zen. Come on, Corelli. Those stats just say it all.
I mean, come on. You look at just his 1v1 game alone, but with everything in the basket, Zen, a great showing so far in these first 2 series. And I mean, listen, he's living up to the expectations. He's doing what he should be doing. He's taking care of the 1v1 matches. What else can you want from him? He's looking golden right now.
Yeah, I mean, he was the talk of the town leading into this. I kind of hoped for some form of storyline in the form of underdogs coming through, but he is just so OP. I can't really fault him. It's a bit of a shame, really, for the sake of this. But let's take a look at the updated bracket as we are standing at this point. The upper bracket extremely strong in the EU region, as we all anticipated. Vitality awaiting with bated breath against the winners of Oxygen Esports versus German Amigos. An interesting matchup coming up next. To German Amigos have that opportunity, Dazarin? What do you think?
I think they definitely do. I mean, the win against BDS is a sign of it as well. Oxygen looking good form, but they don't look perfect. That will be, I said it earlier when we introed into this matchup, that'll probably be in this round the closest matchup of the 2 that we had, and I am excited to see that. To also see who ends up playing in one of these lower bracket rounds. Monkeys are going to be waiting on the loser of that, as G1's waiting on the winners of Sub BDS.
Yeah, Fufax unfortunately out of the competition. They will not be qualifying for Gamers 8. At the same time, on the B stream, they just lost to Monkeys. Monkeys go through into the next stage of that lower bracket. That slugfest. Can they make it through? I mean, only time will tell on this stream, because we'll be watching them a little bit later on. I believe in our 6th match of the series, possibly the 5th. Don't hold me to that. So far with Gamers Without Borders, we've had MVPs who have just put the score lines in, and we're going to hopefully see repeats of that as we progress through this competition. We're going to have a very short break, little switcheroo in the studio, and we'll be right back after this.